right, final day, Pasadena. Well, headed home today, but I got a little bit of time today to do more Van Halen sites. First one's going to be Dow Radio. Most of us know that Dow Radio is where Edward got the Variac. That was so important to keeping his volume down back in the day. Otherwise, he'd be booted out of clubs for playing too loud. And the solution was a Variac, and it was bought here on the main drag in Pasadena. It's no longer here, but the building is. So let me show you that. What's interesting is I was in Sammy's camera the other day, and that is where Dow Radio was, right there. 1759 Colorado Boulevard. There's 1759 Colorado Boulevard, would have been Dow Radio. This is where Edward would have gotten the Variac back in the day. Sammy's camera today. I was just in there the other day to pick up some stuff for video, and I didn't even know I was in the old Dow Radio. How about that? Pretty crazy. All right, here at the Pasadena Civic, gonna check out the new Eddie Van Halen plaque that I haven't seen. During the pandemic, they put it kind of like on the back end of the pandemic, so I wasn't here because of NAMM wasn't happening then. I didn't have a chance to come by and check it out. So today's the day to see it. And we're gonna also check into something that we've never checked into. And that is right next to me over here is the exhibit hall and ballroom. And that is where the Van Halens were said to play, not behind me in the theater. All of the people that I've interviewed from the period that were here said it was never in the theater, never. It was always in the exhibit hall, which is over there. Back in the day, they would have like 3 or 4 or 5 bands at a time, and they would have them at different sides of the hall. And then Van Halen would be the headliner. And that's kind of how they went down. All right, there it is, the plaque from our friends at Pasadena for Van Halen. Ladies from this area who helped make this happen, and that's so awesome. All right, this is Exhibit Hall A. This is where I believe it happened, but I'm going to check with my sources about which one of the halls it was, but I think it was this hall back in the day. This looks renovated, but it could have been renovated. All right, on the left is the Rose Palace. The Rose Palace is where Van Halen's amp came from, famous Marshall, right there at the Rose Palace. All right, I'm at Pasadena High School, where the Van Halens went to high school. Right behind me. Been here before on the last Van Halen trail. Beautiful area right here. I'll show you the 2 gymnasiums that are over here to the right of me. This one, I'm not sure which one it was they played in, but they did play in one of them. There's 2 of them. I think Greg Renoff told me it was the girls' gymnasium. And I don't know if they're different, because they're 2 different ones. And I don't know if these are the originals, but you'd have to talk to somebody who was here at the time to know. But it's a great shot of the auditorium. It looks of the era, so I think this is probably the main gym. Now the other one is over there. Hard to tell from here. I'm gonna go look a little bit closer, but here it is, home of the Bulldogs. There's the other gymnasium here at Pasadena High. Let's go look at some of these houses where the backyard parties are. All right, I'm at the site at the Imler's house, detailed in Greg Renoff's book. The Imlers, they had backyard party here for Van Halen back in the day. And right up the street is where another site, 846, where they get this massive house up here. These backyards aren't really accessible, but that's where the parties happened. And same with this other house. You really can't get back to the backyard to see what it was like. But I'm gonna go over there and vlog that one anyway. But this one, the Imlers were real connected with Greg, and they talked about their parties here, and there's a lot of different information out there, but I thought I'd vlog it so we can see it. This is where it happened, one of the famous backyard parties. All right, this is the Ajuwani's house. I don't know if that's how you say it, but this is the house with a giant backyard. Behind this house, I guess, is where it happened. It's a pretty residence. Ajuwani's. Pretty cool, huh? The Imlers is right there where my car is. So these two parties happen very close together here. What you're looking at in front of me is the Altadena area up there, up north of Pasadena. I'm headed towards where a music store was that the Van Halens bought those drums and that Les Paul, those first kind of pro instruments. It's kind of like this mountain is where Altadena is, and then down you got Pasadena in the valley, and you know, like Arcadia, where Mike was from, is just right next to Pasadena, neighboring like cities, and you know, it's all really easy to get to from each other. Sierra Madre Playhouse. All right, what you're looking at behind me is 50 West Sierra Madre. Building right behind me was where the Van Halens got their first professional instruments, the Les Paul that we know about, I think the gold top, right? And the drums. And that's where it all started right here for them. It's now a nail salon, but it's in Sierra Madre. Pretty cool, right? Right here is where it all started for those guys. Pretty cool. This is a little bit of a distance away from their houses. It's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles away. Up the mountain. Pretty cool little area though. Dig it. All right, we're at the Sierra Madre Playhouse. This is where Mammoth actually did a battle of the bands. This is how far this goes back up here. Like I said, they got their first real pro instruments here in town, and they actually played in this venue way back in the early 70s. Crazy, right? All right, behind me is Hamilton Elementary School, where Eddie and Alex went to elementary school. This is where the Broken Combs had their first performance, his first band, the Broken Combs, right here at Hamilton Elementary School in Pasadena, California. A real genesis of Van Halen right here, baby. Pretty crazy, right? Man, amazing. This is John Marshall School, and I think this was like middle school at the time. I'm not sure. They moved around some with the schools, but this is really close to the childhood home. It's blocks away. You could walk here from it. It's John Marshall. Another Van Halen school. Pretty cool. Like I said, this one's so close to their house you can literally walk to it from here. It's pretty amazing. It's right up Allen. The liquor store is probably 4 blocks down or so, something like that. All right, I'm here at John Marshall. I'm gonna show you how close that childhood home is to this. This is straight down Allen. Los Lunas would be on the left, the house. So it's not far at all. And if you look down, you see the freeway down there. I don't know if you see it, but the freeway's down there. That's where the liquor store is. And Los Lunas coming up on the left. They probably would have walked to school from here. I mean, it's, see, that's probably another, what, 2 blocks. So it's 4 or 5 blocks from their house up to the school. All right, let's see what we got here. We got, well, it should be the left, the next left maybe. Let's see, we got it. Pretty sure this is it. I'm gonna blow it, I know it. Yes, Los Lunas right here. Liquor store straight down there. Los Lunas is here, and the school's up the street from there. It's pretty cool. Gonna go right back here by the childhood home right quick before I leave town today. Whether or not I did it so late in the day, it's kind of dark, so I'm gonna do it daytime. Drive by, and then I think I'm gonna go out to Guitar Center first and then I'm going to go to Glendale College, and a Quiet Riot and Van Halen faced off, and that's something I've never vlogged. So this is the beautiful street of Los Lunas, Pasadena, California. House is on the left here, right by that truck. You'll see it kind of behind everything. Look at that. Kind of hard to see. Whoops, almost had a squirrel come out in front of me. Oh, booger. Can't imagine how many people come by this house. Take a peek. It's amazing, right? 1881 Los Lunas Street, right here, was where it all began, really, for them. I'll have some pics here the other night. And they're still here. That's my last one right there. Zoom in. Door 1881. Anybody that's been over here to Los Lunas knows about the alley that's around back where the garbage cans are and all that, but that's also where the back gate is. And you can see the garage. Now, everybody says they'd never rehearsed in the garage. Probably not, but there are paint oversprays in that garage of red and black, and everybody talks about whether he painted it there or not. We know he painted it in the backyard. I believe he said so, or somebody said that it was they were hanging on clotheslines in the back here. So here's where that would be. Now there's a story about Van Halen picking up something back here. I forgot what it was. A trailer, I think? Something he was picking up, and it cut his finger off. And I think it was back here behind the house. And anyway. Yeah, Jan hurt his hand out here, I think. That's what happened. And that's when he got his finger cut off or whatever, and that caused that injury that he wouldn't play anymore. And I think it was out here behind the house, if I remember right. I don't even know if anybody's living here. The gate's unlocked. And I don't like anybody here. It's not kept. It might be in between renters again. Hard to tell. I really do think it's in between renters. Why would the trash bin be right there? I think it's in between renters again on this thing. I don't think anybody's living here right now. No. Because it looks like they're cleaning up back here. Of course, here's the garage. Okay, here's a Guitar Center in Pasadena, California, right next to Pooh's Records, where Eddie used to shop, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Pooh's Records, I didn't even think it'd still be here, but it is. All right, Pasadena Guitar Center. They better have one or two. You know what I'm saying? They better have one or two. Come on now, don't let us down. Where are they? Oh, there he is. Here's one. Like if they didn't have Eddie Van Halen guitar in Eddie Van Halen's hometown, I'd be pissed. Wouldn't you? Right. They got changed everything. Everything. I feel like if Mozart wasn't recognized in his hometown. Iconic. That's good. Half stack. 50 watt. What else? There's another combo. Iconic. Pretty cool. Slime greens. I like that. I saw that somewhere else. I always love a used area. You never know what you're going to get here. That's where the fun stuff is. That's where I always walk away with something. Just think that guitar was painted up the street from here. Probably about, let's say, 2 miles, 3 miles from here. Insane. Guitar Guitar Center in Pasadena. So went in and checked it out to make sure there was some kind of Eddie Van Halen something in there, and I found the black and white Eruption Pooh Records, which is next door. I'm gonna walk over there. That is where Eddie used to get his music back in the day, Pooh. So it's still here. So let's go check that out. I've got one more stop on the Van Halen trail besides Pooh, and that's the Glendale College Auditorium. I'm gonna hit that on the way out to the airport and check it out. But here you go, check it out. Pooh Record Shop. This is where Van Halen got his music when he was a kid, when he was young. I was shocked it was still here. My friend Nikki Panisi showed it to me, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't realize it was even around. So let's go check it out, see if Pooh has got any Van Halen, honestly. See if they got anything. You would think, right? Right here down the street from the house.